Well, I wanted to show you this wiring mess that I had going on here. And before I straighten it out, these connectors here, for whatever purpose, were just stuffed in the wall down here behind the vanity. And they were just stuck in a hole in there. And it's not by code now for sure, because any kind of connections like this that get buried have to be in a box, which they were not in a box. And then you see they had three different switches, one for the regular light switch, another one for the light in the fan, and then the fan itself. And probably this one was for the light, and then the top one there was for the fan. And they had this loop of wire here. Which one is it? This one here. See this loop of wire going around and going up through here and around there and around here, and then going all the way up the wall. They had that thing all looped up inside the wall here, like it was, you know, was way extra. And there was no need for it to be like that. No need whatsoever. So, and then to make things even worse, this is where the ceiling light fixture was here. And you can see I have two sets of wires tied together. There's actually 4 sets of wires coming in there. That's because not only does the main feed for this bathroom come in here, but also the feed that goes to the bathroom on the other end of the house. No rhyme or reason. Why would you do that? And all junctioned in this light box. So I've got to move the light anyway. I'm going to move it to the right, and probably about the same distance away from the wall it is now. But I'm going to be putting a new box in there, and I'm going to try and redo some of this wiring to make it more appropriate. And then over here, this part wasn't so bad. This is where the light and fan kit goes. But I think I have enough flex line in there, and definitely enough wiring, that I'm going to actually move it over to the left. And you can see up in there, maybe you can, yeah, you can see the truss, part of it anyway, that holds the ceiling in place. And I learned something about this. Look at this ceiling sheetrock. It's not just sheetrock, but it's sheetrock that is bonded to plywood. So you have, looks like 1/2-inch plywood with 3/8 sheetrock bonded together to it. Which is nice if you want to screw something to the ceiling. I didn't realize it when I was taking this light fixture down, and I was going to try and cut the hole out so I could access the wiring, and I still may do that, because they got these wires are stapled down to the ceiling up inside, so I can't pull them out a whole lot more, and I would like I said, like to move it over to the right. So I've got my mess cut out for me for today's work. I'm going to be putting a box down in here, and to tidy up this mess, I'm going to put in a 3-gang box here. And then once I get this cut away from here, I'm going to put a single gang box on the other side of that stud for our GFI. And it's the same way here. This GFI has wiring coming in and going where else? To the bathroom on the other end of the house. Doesn't make any sense to me at all, the way they did things. And it's just crazy, yeah. So that means if you lose the lights in one bathroom, you lose them in both bathrooms. And why would you have circuit breakers for rooms on 2 opposite ends of the house? Kind of crazy, yep. But I'm finding that over and over again. So let me get busy and get to work, get this done, and I'll bring you back when I get it tidied up. Well, hey guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I'm back, and this is actually the next day. I had a war going on here yesterday with this wiring. Well, you can see I have overcome, and you'll forgive that light. That's just temporary, as you can see, hooked up in there. And the power for the lights in our other bathroom also go through that junction box up there. How fun is that? And as well as this GFI works for the other bathroom, which is on the other end of the house. Don't ask me why they did that. I can't tell you. But as you can see, what I have done, I have consolidated and instead of having those three separate boxes you saw hanging out there before, I have put this 3-gang, and this one is hooked up for the light, 3-gang box here, and the single one there for the GFI, and you can see that the two lights that are supposed to be lit are lit. I fought with this thing yesterday, only had one light in the middle, which indicates an open ground. And I chased wires and pulled things apart. I even bought a different GFI in case that one had gotten shocked in a electrical storm, but it didn't. But as you can see, I ended up rewiring back over to here, which is where the feed came from. Now you remember the two big connectors that I had inside the wall. I have made it code worthy now with this junction box, and everything is tied together in there. And this yellow wire is the new wire going up here to the box, and then going all the way up and into the ceiling, and it comes out right in that junction box, which is where the light will eventually hook up. So yeah, that's finally all done. I chased that wire around for 4 hours yesterday, and I'll tell you, by the time I was done, this old man was whooped. Can you say whooped? Yep. And I have this modified here for my ceiling fan, which you see right there, which is going to go up in there. And it's the end of the day, so I'm not going to be standing on my head again. And I put in a piece of, well, it was 2x12, but I ripped it down, so it's 2x8. And that is screwed right directly to the side of the truss that is up in there. And I don't know if you can see the truss or not. Don't know. Yeah, I guess you can see part of it maybe. Not that it matters to you at all. But I may have to do a little more framing to give more solid anchoring, and I actually may have to come over here and cut an access hole over here so I can get in to anchor this new box in place, because this new fan kit is, I don't think it has provisions for old work. I think it's only new work. And which is okay, I can work around it, because obviously my ceiling isn't going to be left with all these holes. I'm redoing the ceiling, which will go right on top of this. And in the earlier part of the video, let me climb up on my ladder here. When I started it yesterday, whoop, up George, I was saying that the whole ceiling had the plywood. Well, that wasn't exactly true. They have plywood pieces up in here wherever there were something to be anchored to it. And so yeah, the plywood piece for this light was not complete beyond it. And actually this new outlet box that I put in, junction box, whatever you want to call it, is part on and part off. But this is an old work box, so it wasn't dependent on that. So yeah, we tidied up our wires, and I haven't hooked any of these wires up yet, because these are the switches for the fan and light kit that goes up there. And we had thought about adding another light down there over the shower, But this is a pretty small room, and we do have glass doors. Look at all the dust on my lens. You can see that reflecting in the light. We do have glass doors that are going on our shower stall, so it won't be like we have a shower curtain blocking our view. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to leave that light right there, and I'm going to be using LED bulbs in here and in there to get as much brightness as we can, and I think that'll take care of our issue. So tomorrow I have another Bible study, and when I come home I am going to, my goal is anyway, to get this piece up in there and mounted and wired in with my last two switches in place, and then I will be ready to call the electrical inspector and have him come and look. And I can get him to come and look at the rough wiring, and then I've got a few more studs to put in. I have to put another one in right here, and I got to put another one back in that corner. And now that once I get the far wall behind me done, I'm going to put another stud in here to close up this humongous space. It's about 2 feet on that center, I think. So, hi Claudia!
Goodbye, George.
She just backed out of the picture. She don't like to be in the videos. So that's where we're at. Until next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I'm working at it in between other things. Hope you all having a great night, and if I don't talk to you again before the weekend, have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.